What's up, peeps? Today is Tuesday. That means it's my weekly edition of question and answers. And so I'm going to do a little bit something different. So I'm going to take every single one of your questions and I'm going to put them up against this green screen just to be able to add a little bit of something. But anyways, you asked me some really interesting questions, so let's get started. Without further ado, let's start off with the first question. The first question comes from, right here, Wesley Holman. You can reach him at the official KG on Twitter, so go follow him and take a look at what he's up to. The question is, what was your first ever game that you played, and did you enjoy it? The very first game, I can go back in time. Like, there's a lot of games I played, like Mega Man and stuff like that. Even on Atari, my mom had the Atari. But the first official game that I ever played was none other than Duck Hunt. So you remember on the NES where you were able to play the original Mario, or you could play Duck Hunt? Well, Duck Hunt, literally, I had the orange gun, like, and I would just... I love Duck Hunt. I'm thinking right now, like, how many people right now literally wants to play Duck Hunt? Like, give this video a thumbs up if you do. But come on now, like, really, who doesn't like Duck Hunt? So yeah, Wesley, that was a great question. Thank you very much. Alright, we'll go with question number 2. Question number 2 comes from Paul Nathan Full. You can see him on Twitter as well. His question is the following. Are there any old school remedies that you do to cure an ailment or sickness that aren't necessarily recommended by a doctor? And an example that he gives is his grandmother would always have his grandfather plug his urethra with a kernel of corn and drink tobacco sauce just to cure a UTI. First of all, nothing, and I mean nothing, is going in my pee-pee hole. Just saying. Something can come out, but nothing is going in. But you bring up an interesting question. Like, there may be a couple things that, like, that I do that I don't realize anybody else does. But there's that one thing that I always do that nobody else knows. Well, I mean, I guess a lot of people do, like, know that you can do it, but I think it works. There's two things. Let's start with the first one. When you have a super bad headache, if you squeeze right here, in between your thumbs here, and in between your thumbs here, so you have to squeeze them right here at the same time, and you sit there, and you just hold them, your headache will go away. Now, I found that if, like, when you have a headache, it's like on each side, like if it's in the back or the front, like, it never worked. But if it's on the sides, it works all the time. So to do this. The next thing that I do all the time is if I have the hiccups. There was this, I was flying to Phil back to Seattle through the summer. We're expanding our team with Amazon. And there was one night I just had the hiccups. I couldn't stop. Like, it was so bad. Like, every 2 seconds I was hiccuping. And then I was still hiccuping the next day. And the interesting thing is, the next day I was actually on the airplane flying home to Seattle. And there was a person on my left and there was a person on my right because A, I didn't have the money to upgrade to first class, and B, Amazon gave me a shitty seat. But the thing is, I was hiccuping. They were both getting super frustrated. So this person said, hey dude, let's see if they have an actual spoon in first class. We'll put it in some water and see if that gets rid of it. So sure enough, first class had an actual, like, spoon. Not like a plastic spoon, but an actual spoon, because first class gets free meals. And we put it in water and we drank it. And it worked. I didn't have a hiccup after that. And as a matter of fact, I haven't had hiccups since. So those are what I do. I don't think the doctors would necessarily say that that was bad, but that's what I do. Next question comes from PDTD. He asked a question on my YouTube vlog that I just posted yesterday. And it is, have you vlogged about your tattoos, current or future. So if everybody knows, I have this. Let me see if I can roll this up. I have this tattoo right here. So what motivated me to get this tattoo? If you don't know, this tattoo is of an Egyptian Ankh right here. And I didn't know anything about Ankhs. What actually made me get this tattoo is I was watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? You guys remember those? And the episode, like, it's been so long ago, but the episode that what I can remember of it is they had to go to a museum where like a mummy was coming back to life because she or the mummy took the elixir of life. And as long as they took the elixir of life and inflicted the Ankh on their body, they'll live forever. So I got this Ankh. It's a rainbow colored Ankh to represent us gay people. So it starts with blue, works its way up to purple. But it's more of he who inflicts the Ankh on their body shall live forever. Not like live in their body forever, but like their spirit will go on. They will live forever. So, any tattoos I'm planning on getting in the future? No. However, if you think there's a super awesome tattoos like Tilley, dude, get this. Leave it in the comments below. I'll take a look at it. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. The next one comes from Michael Gansby, and you'll see his YouTube channel right here as well. I highly suggest you guys go look at his video. Like, he's up and coming, which, you know, he just started, like, I think this month. He has 20 subscribers, so he's growing, but the content is getting better and better and better, and every day better. So I'm excited to see what he can bring. But his question is, we all know you work for Amazon, obviously, but if you were to move again while working for them, where would you want to go and where would you not want to go? Okay, so where would I go? I want to end up back in Kansas. The unfortunate thing, they deprecated, or if you don't know what the word deprecated means, is they stopped, or the building that they had in Kansas, where I started in Kansas because I grew up in Kansas, it's no more. They got rid of it, which is unfortunate. I wanted to make my way back to Kansas sometime. But I'm going to, like, if I want to end up in Southern California. Like, they have a building, it's in, man, where is that? Moreno Valley, which supports the LA market. I don't know, like, you guys can look up Moreno Valley to LA. Like, I think it's like an hour away. That's where I want to end up. Aunt 6 is what it's called. That facility, that's where I want to end up. It's near Ontario, California. Or it's based off of the closest international airport, so Aunt 6. Where do I not want to end up? So, I moved to Seattle, and it's super expensive. So where would I not want to end up? Like, I'm willing to go anywhere for Amazon. I would even be willing to go to Australia because they're opening up an Amazon fulfillment in Australia, and they may already have one open, but I know of them building one in Australia. And, well, I also want to go to Australia because of Adrian G. Like, I'll leave his channel below. He has over 100,000 subscribers, and he deals with like social experiments and everything like that. And I'm gonna be pretty confident and pretty straightforward when I say he's freaking sexy. But anyways, where would I end up? On 6, Southern California. Where would I not end up? Anywhere where it's expensive, guys. Like, honestly, I don't want to take every dollar I have and, you know, it has to go towards rent and then car payments and bills, and then what you have left, $100 bill. Like, I'm a manager, so I get paid once a month, and it's not for me. So anywhere where it's cheap, but Southern California, I know it's expensive, but at least, like, look at this. If I go to LA, we get collabs, more YouTubers, more stuff to do, more stuff to see, and plus, it doesn't rain all the freaking time like it does here in Seattle. Alright, next question. By the way, Mr. Gansby, that was a good question. Alright, the next question comes from Zach Lehman, or ZL. I just personally know this individual from back home in Kansas. You can follow him at Zach311 on Twitter. Question is, it's a two-part question, so we'll start with the first part. Do you think cars in Kansas are cheaper compared to Washington? And if so, where would you buy one at? Okay, so I bought a car in Kansas. It was a Nissan Murano. I bought it at a dealership, pre-owned, had 70,000-ish. Actually, it didn't have, well, yeah, I think it had 72,000 miles on it. It's either 52,000 or 72,000. I don't remember which. But either way, for $12,000, that was a good price for that type of vehicle. SUV was 2011, I think. Because I did have a 1999 Grand Prix, which I loved. I freaking loved. I wish I still had it. But I knew that it wasn't going to get me to California when I moved for Amazon. So I took my, I drove it, and then when I got to, I stopped in Albuquerque, New Mexico, whenever I went to, when I was traveling to Amazon, California to live, and it started to overheat. I was like, what the hell? I just bought this car less than 1 month ago, paid $12,000, and I'm having issues. Now keep in mind that it is pre-owned, I got it. But if you know anything about cars, if you buy a pre-owned car, it has to have been serviced and has to be up to a certain level of standards before somebody can purchase it. So I took it in while I was in Albuquerque, and they said, yeah, you have in your radiator a crack on this side and a crack on this side. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, how much is it going to cost to replace? And they were like, well, we're not Nissan. I know that Nissan is born, so they didn't know. And they said, if you're going to get yourself to California, you can. It's just like every 200 miles, you're going to have to fill it up and just hope that doesn't do more damage to your engine. I was like, this freaking sucks. Like, I used to sell Nissan cars, so I knew it wasn't the car. It was just that, like, these dicks in Kansas that I had to deal with. So I was able to make it to California. Sucked. Like, every so often I had to stop and fill it full of antifreeze. Interesting thing is, though, is like if I was going way down the road, like fast, like 70 miles per hour, it never overheat. But whenever I was going like 20 or 30 miles per hour, sure enough, that heat started to peg. So I had to buy a new car in California. So I own a car, it cost me $25,000. It's a luxury edition Nissan Juke. Has leather, navigation, heated seat, heated wheel, everything. So I don't need to buy a new car is what I'm trying to get to. Sorry for like kind of giving you the story. But in Washington, everything is fucking expensive. Pardon my French, but it's true. Food, super expensive. Gas, super expensive. Rent, fucking expensive. I'm not sorry for that one, but it is expensive. Like, I live in a 266 square foot apartment, pay over $1,000. The only other place I know where it's that expensive is New York City, Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. Even LA doesn't have that bad of rent prices, even if it's downtown. So in Kansas, everything, food is cheap, rent is cheap, cars are cheap, and the state sales tax is cheaper. Sales tax in Washington sucks, except for food. You don't get taxed on food. In Kansas, you do. So I would say Kansas is probably cheaper. All right, last question right here is going to come from Officially Caleb at BDAC Have you ever been arrested or tried? I have been arrested before. I'm not going to lie, most of us have. When I was in my very first relationship, I'm not going to tell you the name of this individual because I don't want him to look bad amongst his friends, but he was cute. Like, I've done very good with cute people. And he looked at me one day, he was like, you will never be cuter than me. Well, you know, I started taking really good care of myself. I had a lot of hair, my teeth were good, my skin was beautiful because I was doing the lotion. And one day somebody came up to me and said, dude, you look super sexy. And my boyfriend was next to me and he got frustrated by it. So he went, when we were at home, he took me and pushed me into a mirror that was on a door, like a full body size mirror. And he pushed me so hard it cracked and broke, and he took a big piece of it, and he just started scratching my face, and I was gushing blood and everything like that, and I pushed him off of me, and we were creating so much noise that the neighbors called the police. And when the police came over, sure enough, I had blood all over my face. He went and stabbed me on my back. If I could show you the scar, if you want to see the scar, give this video a thumbs up and I will show you the scar. It sucked, guys. I was gushing blood on my back, had blood on my face. There wasn't even a mark on my boyfriend because I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. And we both went to jail for domestic violence. And at the end of the day, you know, I still love the guy. We were young, immature, we didn't know any better, and you know, the decisions I made then is where I am now. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today, you guys. These questions were super amazing. If you kind of like this new Q&A where, you know, we're like, have the screen behind me, and you know, let me know what you guys think. Anyways, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with others, and that's it.